Okay? This is like, do not shortcut this. Do not short circuit this. This is very important for you to feel like you're living in integrity and in alignment with who you are. Hi, welcome back to Up and Running and Thriving, your weekly source of inspiration and motivation to help you get your mind, body, and business up and running and thriving. My name is Whitney Abraham, and today we are going to talk through knowing who you are. Who are you? Literally, I picture this. You're Tafiti, and Moana has her sweet, loving hand on your cheek, and she's singing to you. You know who you are, but do you really? Here's the deal. If you can figure out who you are, if you can figure out how you want to show up in the world, and if you can figure out what matters to you, then you've done it. Listen, I've worked with thousands of women, and it's a lot harder than it sounds to know who you are and to know what you want. But if you're willing to put in the work to really discover yourself and to really discover what makes you tick, you will be infinitely more happy than anything that any other outside person could give you. So if you find yourself struggling to make decisions, because you don't really know if it's for you or if it's in alignment with who you are. If you find yourself not really knowing who you're meant to be in this world and the impact that you're meant to make, I have a couple of exercises today that I hope will help you get clarity on how you want to show up in the world and what matters to you. The first part of this exercise is determining your core values. These are the overarching principles that you want to embody. So when you lay your head on the pillow at night, and you think on the day and you decide whether or not it was successful, what are the measures that you're using to determine whether or not it was successful? Were you patient with your children? Were you graceful when someone complimented you? Were you bold in business? Were you compassionate when people were sharing their heart with you? What are the things, what are the values that are the most important to you? Here's the really cool thing. Those are going to change over time. So it's a constant exercise of reevaluating how you want to show up in the world based on what's happening in your life and honoring those in the moment. This is why I love intention work. This is why I love setting intention, because I can remind myself of who I am before I go into an interaction. If I know I'm going into a high pressure situation, I'm going to remind myself that I value bravery. I'm going to remind myself that I value a level head. And then I show up to that moment and I am true to who I am because I've taken the time to remember what matters to me. Okay? This is like, do not shortcut this. Do not short circuit this. This is very important for you to feel like you're living in integrity and in alignment with who you are. The other option is for you to come up with your core motivations. What makes you tick? What makes you excited? What pulls you out of bed in the morning? It's different for every person, okay? You could desire success. You could desire freedom. You could desire being loved. You could desire fame. You could desire being knowledgeable. You could desire being perfect. It's not a criticism to desire any one of those things. It's to help you know what inspires you to take action and to move forward in your life. I can be totally transparent in saying that my core motivation is success. And because of that, I show up to my life honoring that core motivation, making decisions that I know are going to make me feel like I've worked towards that at the end of the day. If I were the kind of person that was motivated by success, but I had nothing to be successful at in my life, if I had no place to put my ambition, I would be a deeply sad person. But because I know that I desire that and that I am motivated and excited by that, I can then take the time to make my decisions on whether or not that's going to give me that outcome at the end of the day. So it's not a negative thing to want those things. It's never a judgment. It's only a tool for you to use so that you know if you are moving in the direction that you're meant to move in. If you struggle with understanding what your personal core motivation is, there are a buttload of aptitude tests that you can take to help you figure that out. Enneagram is a great one because it really does just boil down to your core motivation, your core fear. Other great ones are StrengthsFinder. I personally love one that's not even an aptitude test. It's called Human Design. It's a free test that you can take that is basically the blueprint of who you are as a human being and what you're meant to do in life. But here's the deal. If you struggle with figuring out what you really want, what you really desire at the end of the day, do the work. Take the test. Do whatever you need to do to be able to answer that question so that you can know what makes you tick. Because the only person that's going to give you what you want is you. And if you don't know what you want, you're moving aimlessly throughout the world. This has been Whitney Abraham with Up and Running and Thriving. Thank you so much. If you loved it, like, subscribe, send it to a girlfriend. We'll talk really soon. Bye.